What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Last time we talked, things were moving fast, and I mean faster than I ever expected. Last week I dropped a video talk about my pivot from fitness to building an AI agency, and I told you I had a 30-day game plan with a mentor, keeping me accountable, and a vision to turn automation into real results. Well, in just 1 week, things are already shifting in a big way, and this video is not just an update, it's about how I went from idea to action, how I found the right developer to help me build these agents, how we already are launching our first working employee, and why I believe this can genuinely change how small businesses operate. So, if you're someone who's watching this pivot in real time, or you're brand new, or you're just curious on what happens when a person tries to automate an entire business, you're in the right place. Because I'm not here just to pretend I have all the answers, but I am here to show you exactly what's been happening, step by step, win or lose. You're in it for the long run. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so after dropping my last video, I got straight to work. I knew the first step was going to be super clear. I need help. I'm not a developer by trade, and if I wanted to build these agents right and fast, I had to find a way or find someone who's already been doing it. Someone who's already skilled at building agents, and someone who I can learn from to close my knowledge gap. So I posted in 2 different places, the AI community I've been learning from and Upwork. And I explained exactly what I was looking for, someone who could, not only teach me how to build the bots, but someone who walks me through every step of their decision so I understand what's going on inside their brain and why they, organize it how they did. And so I'm not just looking for an individual who can build the bots, but I'm looking for a partner who's able to execute the strategy. And in total, I got about 15 responses. Some were solid, a few were sketchy, and a lot just they weren't in line with what I was looking for. Either they wanted to do everything for me without teaching me, or they just weren't, technically clear on business-focused operations. And so in the end, I was able just to narrow it down to 3 individuals. And I spent the week, taking calls, answering questions, trying to get a feel for how they operate. And that's when I came across Roy. From the jump, things felt a little different than the other individuals. Not only was Roy able to, walk me through his projects that he's worked on, he was able to show me in real time what he's built. He was also able to explain every step of his process the exact way I've asked. So, to me, he made things super easy and simple to understand. And beyond that, we simply just clicked on values. Like as a person to person, man to man. Just a quick, short story on what I mean by that is that I pay Roy hourly, right, to help me build and learn. That's just how it works. And so technically, the more time we spent on calls, the more money he makes. But one day, I brought a project to him, obviously had a few challenges, and we ended up jumping on Zoom, and Roy started troubleshooting right away. After about, I'd say 15, 20 minutes of getting stuck, he was like, all right, listen, man. He was like, let me just take this offline. I'll figure it out. I'll build a game plan, and we'll hit the ground running next time. Only charge me for about half an hour because you shouldn't be paying to watch me figure stuff out. And at that moment, that right there, the integrity, I respected that. He had nothing to gain by cutting time short, but he did it anyway, and that's when I knew he's the guy I could do business with. This is someone I could actually build a brand with. And in all, Roy and I have complementary skills. I'm a big picture operator, vision, strategy, communication guy. He's a deep in the details, technically focused, precise. That's all him. And so together, we're able to just move a lot faster. And every day since then, we've been meeting up virtually, building out designs, putting together these systems that actually work. There's no fluff involved, no theory. It's just hands-on building with a clear goal in mind, to build functional AI agents that solve real business problems. So, once Rory and I locked in, things started moving a lot faster. We were logging in every day virtually and going deep into what the actual intention was. What are we looking to do? What is my intention with the business? What type of agents do I need? How we could build them in a way that's not just functional and scalable, but that business owners can actually adapt to and learn without being too like over anxious. Is that the word I'm looking for? Over anxious. The last thing you want to do is give a tool to someone and they have no idea how to use it and their brain just starts going haywire. That's the last thing you want to do, especially in business. If they don't understand how it works, they won't be able to use it and they'll just regret the entire decision altogether as a business. So with that, the first few sessions, we were trying to just get alignment in what we're looking for. I had ideas, he had questions. We were able to map out the concept and just kind of reverse engineer everything in terms of the stack, the tools, architecture. Basically, what I'd like from day one is that before I didn't just build, he explained every decision, every function, every workaround. He was right there to ask questions and really drag information out of my brain so that we can move things forward. And again, that's what I was looking for. So, long story short, we kicked things off by building our first real agent called Dan. Now, Dan is our lead nurture specialist. Simply put, think of him as a digital employee who stays in touch with a company's leads, someone who hasn't been contacted in a while. And so if it's past a certain number of days, Dan goes ahead and reaches out automatically to those leads with a customized message, reactivating those conversations that would otherwise have gone cold. Translation, leaving thousands of dollars left on the table for a business owner in his business. So simply because they don't have the time or manpower to take it on, Dan will be able to take care of that for them without any pressure on the current team. And this isn't just some simple, templated message spam bot. Dan's logical approach, it helps be able to kind of actually have that human contact aspect to it. Like how do I put this? Like it listens to what the person is saying and it understands, what part of the process they're in, how close they are to buying. They even notice if they've never been contacted before. And so it uses personalized responses and be able to prioritize them in a smart way to make every message feel intentional. And the wild part is Dan doesn't sleep. He's working 24/7, scanning opportunities, starting conversations, keeping the back and forth through the pipeline alive, all without human contact touching it. And so this alone has major value. Most businesses, their leads go cold, not only simply because they're just too busy. And Dan solves that problem for them, especially if they can't hire more people on. It allows them to take care of the workload of 3-4 people without having to hire physical bodies to take care of the workload. All, running automatically, of course. So the next thing we're building is Dan's teammate, the lead re-engagement agent. And so while Dan identifies the cold leads and sends messages out, contact them first, make sure they stay in touch, the lead specialist handles the back and forth conversation, the qualifying, answering common questions, and nudges them closer to the sale. And whether it's a brand new lead or someone who's falling off, let's say months ago, this agent is actually able to, re-engage them with the conversations, get reconversions, and again, kind of push them towards that sales process to collect new money for the business owner. And again, it just saves a lot of time. Whether you're building a re-engagement agent or even just a lead nurture agent like we were doing right now, something as simple as this can save a business owner thousands or even millions of dollars, depending on how effective it is within their current business. So we're not just building things to look smart. We're building things that business owners can actually look back at the results and go like, wait, this is actually saving me time and making me some money in the same process. Like this is the real KPIs that we're looking for. The best part is we're literally just getting started. We have so much down the pipeline that we're looking to create, and this is only 2 agents that we've done so far. And in total, I plan on making at least 5 that business owners can take on. So, yeah. So if you're trying to figure out where all this is heading, the goal isn't just to build one or two bots and call it a win. The vision is to create a full AI powered team, 5 digital employees with clear, specific instructions on how to handle tasks within a business. And so we've already got Dan. He's a lead nurture specialist. He's up, he's running, he's already ready to go. We're going to be building the lead re-engagement specialist. And then, of course, we're going to have our sales specialist, our customer service specialist. And I'm thinking of putting a kind of like a virtual assistant in there as well, something that the business owners can bounce ideas off of. But in all, each agent has one clear job, one workflow, one results. The idea is simple, to give business owners the ability to scale without hiring even more. The more leads followed up, the more clients closed, the more customers served without adding to the payroll and burning the team out. And crazy part is, these agents don't take lunch breaks. They don't get sick. They just work. And they're attached to your brand and their own message. So whatever you do, they're speaking on behalf of you and your business, which means more money, more time you get for yourself, but less time you have to spend in the business, and overall more freedom that you can do with whatever you want as a business owner, if you were a business owner, obviously. And that's essentially what I'm chasing. That's essentially what I'm going for, is not to replace people, but to allow business owners to free up time by giving them digital employees where they don't currently have the workload or people to handle the workload. They don't have actual humans to build out the strategies, to see the vision, to understand the connection between the business owner's brain and the action involved with it. It takes a lot to just search through all these leads, click through the CRMs, and literally every aspect of the sales process is a lot. And so this is essentially what we're going for. This is essentially what we're trying to build within my digital AI staffing agency. Sorry, it's been a day. My brain is not braining. But, what's the... I know some people kind of ask, what's the mindset behind changing this up? None of this changes anything. I'm still doing fitness. I'm still going about the way I always was. And honestly, I'm not technical. I'm not from the AI world. I'm just someone who's willing to go all in and figure it out. And that comes from years of showing up, rather be in the gym, martial arts, building a business, and sticking with things for long periods of time after the excitement wears off. And that's why fitness and discipline will always be a part of what I talk about here. It's not something that's separate. It's the reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing every day and moving fast while I do it. And so if I want to build a business, to have the experience that I'm experiencing right now, I have to get used to the boredom. I have to get used to repetition, get used to doing the unsexy things over and over again, and finally breaking through that kind of monotonous, exhausted feeling. And so that's what I learned from training. That's why I'm applying it here. This pivot is real. It's hard, and there are going to be days where I doubt myself a lot, but I will keep going because I trust the process. I trust the consistency over action, or I trust consistency with action, because I know it's going to be the best way to get where I want to be. And that's what's driving me right now. And I'm running with it, and I'm okay with it. I know it's going to take not just months or weeks, but years. And yeah. So yeah. In just about a week, a lot have changed. I've got Rory on the team. I've built Dan. We're halfway through building the next AI agent. The vision of a digital staffing team is coming in, and I'm just happy it's not an idea anymore. It's happening. The pivot is just, it's not a side project anymore. It's my next chapter. And every step I take is being used effectively to build the foundation. And showing up, learning fast, staying disciplined through all of it is going to be super crucial. And I understand that. I know that. And yeah, it's still early. There's a lot I don't know. There's a lot I'm waiting to figure out. I'm building in the public with you guys. I'm testing, I'm failing, I'm adjusting, and just showing you every version of what this business is going to be in real time. So it's not just highlights. It's not a reel. It's YouTube. So if you've been following this journey and seeing me go through this, I appreciate you. Just for even watching, welcome if you're new to this. But yeah, I know it's not going to be seen for a while, but again, I still just appreciate you overall. But in the end, again, you guys get to see exactly what the ins and outs of this business is, what's going to be involved, and what's going to be coming next. And if you do enjoy this, just hit that nice little subscribe button at the bottom. Hit a thumbs up and I like it. Just, again, helps out with the algorithm. Help this get to more people in my position or in your position to, accomplish what they want to accomplish, build what they want to build, and just start pushing forward. We're building the future, guys. One AI employee at a time. But yeah, other than that, I will see you later. Peace.